Ed Dudley with We Are Connected, coming at you again with another connected conversation. And I have a new friend that been waiting to chat with for quite a while because I followed him from behind the scenes and some of the stuff that he's doing in the Durham community. I just thought they were amazing and definitely had to get him on the line to chat a little bit. So I have the honor and the pleasure to present Mr. Geraud Staton. How you doing today, Geraud?
And I'm doing very well. This is awesome. I have been, same thing. I've been looking forward to getting to talk to you on this venue for a while now.
Well, great. So I just really want to take this time and introduce you to my network and some other people that might see this, because I think you're doing some amazing things in Durham, and I can't wait to see them explode to you. It goes beyond Durham and take over the Triangle, the North Carolina, then the Southeast and beyond, because what you're doing is sorely needed. So if you can just introduce yourself and tell the people what it is you do.
Absolutely. So I'm the executive director of Helios. We are a nonprofit. We do coaching and mentoring for what we call necessity-driven entrepreneurs. So those are small entrepreneurs. Typically, they make less than fair living wage. They start their business because they're trying to make ends meet. They're trying to get some independence. These are not folks that have just got money set aside. They've always wanted to start a business. They are doing this for survival, generally speaking. Because of that, we also find that this is a group of people that the help they get is more pivotal. This isn't just take a class, learn a few things. We are literally helping them get their business off the ground so that they can support themselves and their families.
I absolutely love it. That's great. So what was the genesis for the Helios Foundation?
I was, as was my father, necessity-driven entrepreneurs. I was grew up poor in LA, moved to Durham, North Carolina when I was very, very young. Was going to be going to one of our typical, mostly black middle schools, high schools, and my neighborhood got rezoned. So I ended up getting to go to school with kids that had a lot more money than I did. And so fitting in with them, I started a little business selling candy, just something, again, to make ends meet, so that I could get clothes, so that I could fit in, so that I could go on school trips, things like that. Actually was able to buy a car with that money when I turned 16. So just really being able to fit in was its whole purpose. I was in the military for a little while and was doing painting full time. I'd started a small business, started a pet sitting company after I'd gotten out of the military, and it was doing fine, but it wasn't doing great. And I struggled to get it to fine. I did not have any help. It was hard finding assistance. On the other hand, because of how I grew up, I had kids and friends who, if they wanted to start a business, sometimes they could start a business, not even tell you what that business was, and get support. Oh, you're starting a business? That's great. What can I do to help? That wasn't me. And so when the recession hit, I went back to business school at North Carolina Central University. And while I was there, I thought, yeah, I don't feel like I'm learning anything that is just mind-blowing. It's just a matter of putting that information in people's hands. And so I wanted to do just a quick little program that was going to give folks like me access. You know, everyone else gets to talk to their aunt who runs a business or their father who's a manager in an office, and I don't have anywhere to get that free advice. So I wanted to be that stand-in for people. Mm-hmm. I thought we'd hit 10 people a year, maybe, that there were a few people out there like me, and it exploded within a year and a half's time. We really started seeing that there were a lot of individuals out there who needed that assistance.
Wow, I absolutely love it. So one of the questions that I've asked, because 2020 has been one for the record books. It doesn't seem, it seems like it was years ago we were talking about the Australian, fires, and
yes.
COVID came in and kind of seemed like it leveled off, and then all these things that we started seeing about socially inequality and injustice, and COVID starting to rear its head again. How are you doing, and how is Helios doing, and during these times?
Well, I'll tell you, that's a great question. And this will reflect on the beauty of what some of our businesses are going through as well. So, just my wife and I have been mostly quarantining. I've been able to go to the office. You were able to interview Rob Shields at one point. So, I'm a member of Reese City and have been there for a while. There's three people in the office generally in that huge space. So it has been as safe there as it has been at home for the most part. So my wife and I get to go our separate ways a little bit, but for the most part, we've just been sticking pretty close to one another, and it has actually been all right. Um, we work to keep each other sane. We have plenty of work to do. She works for Habitat for Humanity, so we are uh, a family that is doing nonprofit work, and that work has not stopped just because COVID has hit. So we are working just as many hours, if not more, than we were before. What has been kind of nice is a lot of our businesses, not all of them by any means, but many of the businesses that we were worried about seem to be doing fairly okay during all of this. It sort of depends on the sector that you're in. Obviously, some businesses have had to shut down for a little while. But one of the things that we work with our entrepreneurs is making sure that they are ready for anything. And so, what I've been pleasantly surprised to see is that our entrepreneurs have adapted really quickly to the pandemic, to the way the market is right now. They don't really have this luxury of waiting to see how things are going to pan out. They adjusted, and they adjusted fast and hard. And I'm incredibly proud of all of them for being able to do that. Some of them are actually thriving through this. Not all of them by any means, but we've got a nice percentage of folks that are doing pretty well.
I absolutely love to hear that, and love what you're doing. Is there anything that you're working on right now that you'd love to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that we're working on is creating, as everyone is, a virtual program. So our program works through cohorts, and the cohorts get to be really tight, and it's great to see them. Our first cohort, they still communicate with each other through Facebook, and I see them hanging out sometimes, and that's how businesses should operate. We are having some challenges like everyone else, so we're putting together a virtual classroom, and that class is going to be starting 30 to 45 days. We'll be taking applications for that very soon. But it's exciting. It's exciting for a couple of reasons. One, that is how we're all going to have to operate for a little while. But it is also allowing us to expand a little bit. So we've had clients as far as Rocky Mount. Now we get to do that a little bit more comfortably uh,
Nice.
for people who have that access. So that's incredibly exciting for us.
Oh, I love that. That's good that you're able to expand like that. And, like we're doing virtually, a lot of us had to, go virtually, whether we wanted to or not. But
That's absolutely right.
I think it's a good thing because it allows us to expand our reach, other than just with a lot of individuals that you're working with might be taking the bus or public transportation to get to your trainings. Now they can sit in the comfort of their home and get the needed skills that they need to get that business up and running. So it's great.
Yeah,
So
that's absolutely right.
as a community, business owners, small business owners, how can we support Helios?
Love it. Well, obviously, as many nonprofits, we need plenty of funding. So anyone that is just sending dollars, know that you're not just supporting one nonprofit, but you are supporting dozens of small businesses. Well, I say dozens, where our goal is to reach 40 small businesses this year. We are already halfway there, so that's been exciting. Next year, we're going even bigger. Our goal is to get to 100 businesses every year that we get earning a fair living wage and paying a fair living wage. So that's the first. The second, putting the word out there for people. We all know necessity-driven entrepreneurs. Sometimes they don't identify as entrepreneurs because that seems like such a big thing. You and I talked a little bit about how everyone seems to think that as an entrepreneur, you've got to be building a million dollar business, and that is not true. Someone that is painting, mowing, selling things on Etsy, that is an entrepreneur. That is a business owner. And if you think that they could do better, earn a little bit more money, send them our way. We would love to be able to help them. Lastly, we are always looking for volunteers and folks to help out. We have a mentor group. So if one of our entrepreneurs, for example, is into something that our general business knowledge can't quite help with. So for example, if we have someone who is creating a product, it would be good for us to be able to refer them to someone else who has created a similar product or who is in that market that they can get one-on-one advice from. And that's our mentoring group. And we are always looking for mentors. So the more people that can help small businesses, the better. So we're always looking for that.
Absolutely. Great. So how can the people find you?
You can find us at www.heliusnc, that's HELIUSNC.org. And you're welcome to give me a call. I'll even send you my number. It's 919-230-1503. We'd love to hear from anyone that's got questions.
Well, I want to issue a challenge, and I've never done this to anyone that's listening to Geraud and I chat, and you learn about Helius too. If you have a small business or a large business, I challenge you to reach out to them and figure out a way that you can sow back in it. And anyone that's met me, they know I live by the one phrase, given it shall be given unto you. Let's take some time out, look up Helius, and figure out a way to give to these necessity-driven entrepreneurs. So that's my challenge to the people that might be watching this video, because at one time we had to get started. And for someone that's necessity-driven, it's a little harder sometimes to push that boulder up the hill. So let's reach out and put some hands together behind that boulder and help them. So Geraud, I appreciate your time. I love what you're doing. I think it is sorely needed. We have some bright individuals out there that should be entrepreneurs, and coaching and some training. And I love the fact that you're putting that out there for them. So we appreciate you. We applaud you. We're here to support you. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Ed. This has been great.
Yeah, so once again, this has been a connected conversation with Ed Dudley and my new friend, Geraud Staton. Stay tuned, because we might have something down the pipeline for you guys. So look forward to chatting with you guys in the future. Take care. And once again, everybody be blessed.